Hello. The story I'm going to tell you today. It takes place in Gyeonggi District, located in the southwest of Taiwan. Here has beautiful landscapes and diverse natural landscapes. There are famous landmarks such as Inggok Mountain, Sun. There is also a lot of cultural heritage in the area. The old streets, the traditional snacks. It makes people crave. In the south of Gyeonggi District means there is a town of water. It's famous for its unique waterways. Rivers are intertwined with abundant water resources to create a fishing and aquaculture industry. Very developed. But in such a beautiful land, there's been a horrific case. Next we'll go back in time. Back to the 15th of March 2013. To find out the details of the story. The 15th of March 2013, that day was Friday. It's spring and it's raining day and night. That afternoon, police station of Shuchang Town Gyeonggi District received an inquiry assistance request from the General Police Station, District 3, Tanbak City. They asked the Marine Police search for the victim's body in the local public toilets. It turns out that early in the morning, the county's General Police Department important to receive an anonymous letter sent from Peaches City. Letter without signature. The font on the letter is a little small. Each line of writing is repeated many times. It looks like the AI is deliberately hiding the actual handwriting. At first they thought it was a cruel joke, but when a curious cop opens something, the content inside makes the viewer shiver. It says on it that, in a public toilet 200 meters from the temple, there's the body of a man. Please be buried properly. I don't have the money to take care of it, thank you. Although it's impossible to identify the authenticity of the letter, but in the end, because it involves human life, so the police don't dare to be subjective, they immediately sent a request for assistance with the investigation to the Shuchang Town Police Station, Gyeonggi District. After receiving the notification, the police immediately called a meeting. Search plan desk. Then the police soldiers went to the local public toilets to conduct a search. At the same time, they also keep in close contact with the police to share information. Make sure to clear the case as soon as possible. When it gets dark, the darkness covers the town in a tense and strange atmosphere. After 3 hours of searching, Director of Police Department Willow Lam, we finally found the clue. She was looking near the temple. It is also known as the Water Temple, located in the center of the waterfront town. From the Min period, the temple has undergone many renovations. It's a place that locals often visit. Kyukon, when she just walked into a nearby public toilet, I discovered something unusual. On the flushing lid of a toilet, there's a shadow bag. She realized right away that it wasn't that simple, and immediately called the other police to deal with it. In the flashing lights of the police car, a team of 5 police officers rushed to the scene. According to the description in the letter, this could be where the body was dumped. However, the clear ball bag is only as big as a ball, and it doesn't look like it can fit a body. So at first they speculated it could be the body of a baby. Next, carefully open the bag. There is also a layer of shadow inside. This is the kind of bag that's used in supermarkets. When opening to layers of bag row, there's a smelly smell right in their faces. There are many other layers inside, including knit pockets, jacket, t-shirt, shorts, and panties. Women. There are 7 classes in total. When the last layer is peeled off, what's in everyone's eyes? It's a human head. The scene above, it horrified everyone who saw it. Afraid of a new police officer. I can't even help but vomit right there. From the size of the head, it can be seen as belonging to an adult. The top surface is coated with a thick layer of salt, and it smells like sour bacon. In the jacket layer, the police found a piece of paper with 5 large letters. 3 graceful sealing. It's a typeface similar to an anonymous letter that the police officer received earlier. The first letter is written repeatedly. Forensic examination results show the victim is a female in her 25-50s. There's a flat cut in the head that's very compact. From the way the crime was committed, it seems like Din Sub is very experienced at cutting meat. Because when meat is soft or frozen, it's not easy to cut. The line is so flat. The head is in a half-frozen state, and it's cut with a sharp blade. to know exactly what kind of blade the sub used. Then we need to find the body to compare and identify. The head is processed by pickling. Causes the dehydrated skin to wrinkle. Teo top. Professor Lan of the police college points out that the degree of decomposition of the body, it is often used to predict the time of death. If the head has been frozen and salted, will make the time of death determination become more difficult. After the case happened, it also caught the attention of forensic experts. Jade Bone Theory. He claimed that putting salt on the body can prevent the decomposition. Maggot larvae bloom and emit a stench. The shadow bag with the head is important evidence. Police can focus on fingerprint and DNA analysis. Stick on the bag. Anonymous letter. As well as analyzing the suspect's personality traits. That can help string the clues together. At the same time, the police are trying trace the source of the anonymous letter, even though the letter was from Peaches City. But stickers. The envelope is from New North City. The mailing address is obviously fake. So, the above clues are difficult to continue tracking. So the police turn their attention. The name mentioned in the letter. And the paper is in the bag. The head is called Chen. After looking up the missing person's data, the police found out there are a total of 64 names. Tran Yuk family. Fortunately, the paper in the bag. First of all, I mentioned 3 important places. So the police narrowed the scope down to a 3-core zone. Tanbak City. After screening and verification, they quickly identified a missing person, the same age as the victim. And the police contacted the family of the missing woman. Then an old mother and her oldest son came to identify the body. Even though the victim's face was shriveled and wrinkled, it's hard to identify, but her mother still recognizes her daughter by her characteristics. The upper jaw is missing. Besides, she also noticed the headwear. It's the clothes she bought for her daughter. The mother could not accept her tragic death. Her daughter hugged her face, crying bitterly on the spot. By comparing DNA, the police identified the victim as Chen. The victim's 34-year-old mother, Chen Tomu, has 5 children, the oldest daughter in the fruit business in Kolong City. Very busy so. She and her son, and his youngest son went to Keelong City to help. And the house in the countryside 3 important. There is only the second son, and the youngest daughter Tran Nguyen family lives. There is a problem with the spiritual condition of the family. So the queen's mother came home to visit her daughter. But on December 12, 2012, after meeting my daughter, she was informed by her second son that her sister was missing. After the family searched in vain, they decided to report it to the police. But she still wears no sound. 3 months later she heard about her daughter, but believing good news turns bad news. It's ironic and pitiful that your mother and I met again. Is when yin and yang are separated. The silver head sends off the green head. Victim Tran Nguyen Din. His real name is Tran Tahu. Born in 1978 in New York City. She was 34 years old when she disappeared. From a young age, she had a beautiful appearance. Beautiful and sexy tall. With long doll-like hair. At school, she was always called the flower. And there's a lot of people chasing. There's even people at the entertainment company who come to me. I want to make you a star. When Hyen was 15 years old in middle school, you've made some bad friends. Under their guidance, she gradually saw momentum study or leave school, playing the bar, smoking and drinking, and then taking to my 58 years old she got pregnant. You were forced out by your family, but she was determined to marry the child's father and accept the outcry of everyone in the house. 9 months later she gave birth to a baby girl. After marriage, she and her husband and daughter moved to the city members to live. However, not long after, husband enters 5 and adultery. During the time of duty, the two later divorced. The end of a 4-year marriage. At 22 years old, she left home to live with her second brother, Tran Jafu. The end of the marriage dealt a severe blow to the psyche and become a major turning point in her life. She was depressed and had the intention of doing something foolish, escape death in time. But since then, she's been psychotic. Neighbors often see her wearing heavy makeup and wear pajamas and wander outside. Because of that incident, that her mother specially changed her name for her daughter, from the name Chu Hu to the name Yun family. She hoped The new name will help her turn her luck around. But most of the neighbors don't know her new name and still call her a Hugh. Some of the neighbors, he even called her Little Sky or Little Pink because of the way you dress. The family has a history of using my too, and I don't know if you quit. But according to the investigation, you have a habit of smoking a lot, although mom and brother too often give her money. But still not enough, so that you maintain your high spending to make more money. She didn't hesitate to sell herself to her brothers, taxi drivers, and having sex with them. She even gave the level of clarity, 500 grand yuan, about 390 to .00 at current price for one-time sex, 50 to 100 grand for a chest touch. After every day, the family brought another man home. It made her mother and brother very upset, but they're powerless to do anything. Follow the clues above. The police speculated there may have been a conflict with that AA in a sexual transaction and was killed. In her head-wrap panties, the translation of an anonymous man has been found, from which the police began to screen people who have had relationships with you. A taxi driver was later identified. The results of the survey are 7. Even though the DNA on the panties belongs to that man, but he has no criminal motive. And there's no evidence either. What is the truth against him? The family changed its name a few years ago. Many people don't know about it, but the person who sent the letter to the police station, maybe you know exactly that name. He was very familiar with the victim. After conducting the interrogation and investigate the neighborhood, some clues that caught the attention of the police. A neighbor testified that my dad used to say that your two brothers, Tran Jiafu, has violated you. But due to her mental state 7 often, so no one believes in. That's what a neighbor downstairs said. In last month the sewer system, drainage of my house, suddenly, it smells terrible. With a lot of meat crumbs and fat coming out. Very unpleasant smell. So, I went to Tran Jiafu, an everyday person who is difficult to get along with. But suddenly, he's surprisingly easy to talk to, and offered to help me clear the sewer. It makes me feel very unusual. But then I cleaned the sewer myself. The police investigation showed Tran Jiafu bought insurance for Tran Nguyen Din's sister from many insurance companies since 2011, with total insurance up to 6,360,000 yuan. It's about 5 billion at current prices. If this is an insurance fraud, everything seems to have been explained. That's why Tran Jiafu became the #1 suspect. According to Find Out, not long ago, Tran Jiafu, newly married to Savage, Fujian Chinese. After the incident, she bought a one-way ticket back to Fujian to keep the Tang relatives. But the police found you suspicious. This 22-year-old has good looks. My parents have a stable job. Tran's family is the opposite. His father died suddenly more than 15 years ago. My mother has no official job, the average financial situation itself. And I live with my sister. To 2012 and Tran Jiafu met. After a while of knowing each other, I feel like you're an honest person. No smoking or alcoholism. And treat me very well. So she decided to marry him after only a few months. Even though the Xia family doesn't require an engagement. But Tran Jiafu still voluntarily gave 260,000. Great currency, about 200 for .000 at current price. It makes you so touched. But happiness doesn't last and things change. After marrying, Tran Jiafu became stingy. And I almost don't give gifts anymore. Even the wedding dress was bought by you. 30 tend to travel from Fujian to Taiwan. I didn't see my husband at home. It was strange, so she asked her husband. But I was adamant that my sister was missing. And then he said about his sister. It's not a good thing. Messy friends relationships. Addicted every day. He was drunk and then met his mother-in-law. But I didn't see her either, referring to her daughter's whereabouts. According to the recollection, she found her husband and mother-in-law's behavior somewhat strange. It seems they do not care about the safety of the family. More, their mother and son are often loud and small in Fujian accent. It's very confusing. When you're curious to ask them what they're working on, they replied that nothing. In addition to saving, there were other strange phenomena in the house. She discovered the room of the sea, frequently smelling an unpleasant stench, and known cause. When you ask your husband, does the room need cleaning or not, then he gets nasty and he insults you badly. Tran Jiafu said that, it's the smell of oil smoke coming in outside the window. Keep your mouth shut. And I can't even talk about cleaning the room. This made her afraid of her husband, and dare not disobey your orders. The more we lived together, she discovered many other aspects of her husband. When he was in China in the 6th grade, he was very peaceful and thoughtful. But when he returned to Taiwan, he was completely different. He becomes patriarchal, will shovel, offend or threaten you. Even with minor family conflicts. He even told me straight away, I bought you and everything of you is mine. 2 months later, the 26th of February 2013, hurry back to 6. And since then she's never come back. In the process of investigating the case, the police also called Cho, who was in the 6th grade, and asked why she was back in China. During this time, she replied that my grandmother died. So, I had to go back to Tang. What about? The police found Chen's head in the town of Tuthongjiao, meaning, then you tell me. I didn't know anything. I only know she's been missing for a while. Save me later. He told the truth to the local police. I accidentally saw a frozen head in the fridge at her husband's house, but I don't know who it is. Fear that you will be destroyed. So I hurried back to 6th grade right after that. Besides, she also said that when she first came to Taiwan, Tran Jiafu offered to buy insurance for me, but then due to a residence permit issue, I can't do it yet. Every time I think about it, I feel a chill in my back. Known. Tran Jiafu works as a chef at a cafeteria in District 3, Tanbac City. The owner said, Tran Fu has worked here for many years. He is industrious and rarely asks for a break. On March 12th and 13th, he suddenly quit for a reason. Have to clean the house. He even borrowed a pair of rubber gloves and a kitchen knife at the bar. 2 days after March 14th, he went back to work but didn't return the knife. I felt a little strange at the time, but I don't think the knife is worth anything, so don't mind. After checking the phone location record, Tran Jiafu's mobile phone, the police picked up his phone signal, appeared in the town of Tututujie district. On March 13th, where the head was found, after watching more surveillance videos, the police discovered it at 4 a.m. on March 13th. Tran Jiafu holding a large black garbage bag to leave the house at 3 frequencies north. Then at 5 o'clock, he appeared at the New North train gao, wear a black jacket, wigs with sunglasses and masks, the black shadow bags on. The hand also turns into a white ball bag. At 10:46 he took the bus to Jiangnan district. Handle according to white ball bag. Appeared on the road in the town of Water. He's walking along City Street, towards the public toilets near the Celestial Mother Temple. 10 minutes later, he's back, and there's no white shadow bag in my hand. The police think Tran Jiafu deliberately disguised from 3 important Tanbac City to the town of Jian district to dispose of the body. He denied it. Even if the police show you a picture of the head and ask him to identify, is it your naked sister or not? He refused to answer, for reasons of great sadness. The police speculated, in the black bags that appear in the video, previous monitoring, it may contain the rest of the body. And the house of Tran Jiafu must be the first crime scene. Inside, there's certainly a lot of other evidence left. After a search warrant, the police immediately rushed to Tran's house. His house, located on Dongnam Street in District 3, Tanbac City. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. Take a look at the map of the apartment. This is the main door. Turn left along the hallway. Will lead to Tran Jiafu's main bedroom. The kitchen and bathroom are located on one side of the hallway. Living room on the other side. Next to it is the 2nd bedroom that was before. In the bathroom wall tile slot and the closet in the Haiyan family's bedroom, the police collected 10 blood samples on the handle of the knife and rice cooker. In the kitchen, there are also some DNA samples that are suspected to be human. Through the test, blood and DNA samples It was confirmed as belonging to the victim. In addition to writing experts also discovered, the letter and piece of paper were found. It's all written by Tai Trenfu. Even though the handwriting is copied, but some words have a habit of writing, just like in his notebook. The strange thing is, except for the head, the police have not found the body. The neighbor downstairs said that there's a large amount of minced meat that flowed out of the drainage hole in his house. That made the police suspect Tranjafu. Fragmented my sister, then puree with a meat grinder and pour. They went down to the sewer, and then they opened Riz death tank to check. But maybe it's because time has gone by so long, so there's only a little chicken bone left in the tank, and no human body tissue was found. At 3:48 a.m. 18/3, 3 police in Tanbak City arrested Tranjafu on charges. Murder suspect. He's in a re-outfit, wear a helmet, 2 limp legs, and able to walk, and being escorted by the police. Then, he was assigned to the police department, meaning to investigate. Before the iron evidence, Tranjafu finally pleaded guilty and admitted to murdering his own sister. But when I was asked why I did that, he confirmed, "The aliens asked me to do it. It wasn't my intention." Suspect Tranjafu, 38 years old, born 1975 in New York City. The third child in the family. He has a sister and a brother. After high school, he worked as a chef. A few years ago, he changed jobs. The job is precarious. Never married or had children until 2012. Tranjafu, 37 years old. Get a job title for a woman. The Fujian is called Liu Mo. They met and married. In the eyes of outsiders, Tranjafu is a real man with few words. He doesn't have many friends and rarely goes out. His colleagues and bosses had been in contact with him. Everyone highly appreciates him. But in the eyes of some neighbors, gesture and behavior of Tranjafu, sometimes it seems so weird. He used to shit on his motorcycle. When you see people you know, he would smile stupidly. It made everyone who met him feel very uncomfortable. Under that stupid look, Chen Chen has another face. He's an extreme fan. This is the kind of fan that uses behavioral tracking, stalking and underground photography to get information about celebrities' private lives. And proud of that, when searching the furniture in his house, the police found it in his notebook. There's a lot of lewd confessions to my idols. It's mostly aimed at the actress. Moreover, he sent his own testimony, love, that along with her naked photos for her, and called the enemy wife. At the same time, he threatened to ban kissing. Once he even sent a stack of toilet paper filled with his semen for actress. For Tranjafu, these perverted behaviors are not shameful. Even, he's comfortable expressing his feelings to the police, with a face that couldn't hide the excitement. The first defeat of 2011. Tranjafu, I started buying insurance for my sister's family. The beneficiaries are him and his mother. Then I can't afford to pay, so a contract was cancelled. The police suspect he has a plot. Fraud insurance money by murder. However, he countered that, I only have a mortgage of NT $300,000, about 235 million a, and monthly income NT $40,000, about 31 million. So there's no financial pressure at all. Buying insurance simply because I want more protection for my family. According to the investigation, from 12 to 2011, Tranjafu, start planning for getting a license, mental disorder certification for yourself, because his oldest brother's on psychotropic drugs. My sister also has mental problems, so he uses family reasons as an excuse to buy those drugs. Then in March 2012, he was granted certificate of average mental disorder. To avoid the attention of neighbors, he started bringing black trash bags home in waves to prepare for the identification process. In the 12th of September 2012, the weather is getting cold. The mother returned to her older brother's house in Geelong City. After a visit to the country, it was on that night that Tranjafu began to strike. The reason is because he was awakened by many phone calls, and I heard my sister dating prostitutes with many other men. Out of anger and discontent, he murdered his sister. Then he put salt on his head for chilling for the purpose of preventing decomposition. The rest of your body is in your room. It wasn't until 3 months later that he cleaned it up. March 12th to 13th. Out. He even wrapped his sister's panties in the semen of another man outside. That had to deceive the police investigation about the method of the crime. However, 2 days later, I threw my head in the toilet and it was still quiet. There's no movement. Cheng could not help but begin to speculate. If the housekeeper sees that the bag is going to be thrown away, if you can't determine if the family is dead, he'll have to wait 7 years. When you're really missing, you can get a death certificate. He couldn't wait that long. He wants to get insurance as soon as possible. Let that AI find out sooner. On March 15th, he sent an anonymous letter to the police station. Important. Half a year after the incident, in 2013, the case was brought to trial in the district court. The trial begins. Tran Jiafu was charged with murder and fraud. In court accused Tran Jiafu to suddenly change his testimony and declare his innocence. Throughout the trial, he kept faking insanity and saying, "Aliens implanted chips in my brain. They're using lasers to chase me." Due to a series of unusual behaviors. So, he was taken to the National Medical University Hospital, Taiwan for psychiatric evaluation. The results show Tran Jiafu's mental state is completely normal, and there's no abnormality. After the trial, the District Court of Jiayi has made a preliminary judgment. Defendant Tran Zhengjie, convicted of murder and sentenced to death by law. The lawyer was not satisfied with the sentence and the appeal. March 2015 in the appeals court. The judges considered the defendant was filial to his mother, and the mother took care of the victim gracefully. For a long time, she lost her daughter. If Tran Jiafu was sentenced to death, it means that take away one of her children again. Therefore, the appellate judgment declared the defendant Tran Jiafu life in prison. The sentence also caused discontent for some people. They're even openly critical. How to be a filial son? They can use such cruel methods. To murder his own sister. To cheat insurance money. Either way, the case is over. With the judge's ruling. Then folks start to pass on female demons to public toilets. At the Celestial Temple. According to legend, someone heard the cry of the wailing of a woman at night. In the public toilets. Some people see it. A girl in a white dress. There's all kinds of different legends. It can be said that it's very spooky, very paranormal. That's why the house, public hygiene on. It was later destroyed and built. From there the ghost legends. They no longer appear. A seemingly normal family. There's been a shocking tragedy, with an unfortunate end to her sister's heart. This is especially true when the killer, he is his own brother. The same blood with me. In the Treasure Sea, a Vietnamese proverbial knife has a sentence. You are like hands. Tearing healed wrapped badly or supported. These words are no stranger to our people. Show a close relationship. It's inseparable. Like feet with hands of brotherhood. As children they grew up together. There's a kind of sacred family feeling. My brother's love is innocent. Not a little bit of life. Until adulthood. I also has its own life and other concerns. They have little time for each other and for their families. Until everyone gets married. They have a small family. Have their own life, along with the worries of life. Sometimes we have the opportunity to meet. Remember, we have the same mother. Whether rich or poor. Happiness or misery or health or sickness. Let's help each other. For a drop of peach blood. And for the brotherhood of the same house. Today's video, it ends here. I'll see you in the videos next. Hello.